This is Dr. Kamel again, and a new content related to the physical therapy license preparation, physical therapy exam preparations. And if you didn't see any of my videos before, my name is Dr. Kamel. I work as Associate Professor of Physical Therapy in the United States, and I am a licensed physical therapist in several states across the US, also in the UK and Egypt. I have got my PhD from University of Nottingham from the UK. So let's go for today's content. The authors of a research study. Okay, so this is a question related to research, and I know that a lot of us we don't like questions related to research and statistics, especially if we are not familiar with those questions. Somebody told me that there is increase in the number of questions related to research and statistics, so we don't want to miss any points on the exams. So let's go. The authors of research study report a favorable trend in outcomes. However, the results were not statistically significant. So we see that there is a favorable trend, but when we try to see the statistical significant, and this is different because we have different statistical testing we are applying in order to know if this is statistically significant or not. Okay, there might be some improvement, but not still statistically significant. The physical therapist suspects that the lack of statistical significance may be due to poor research methodology. Okay, maybe which of the following study characteristics would most likely explain this issue? When we design any research study, we have to set certain parameters like sample size, how many groups, which type of variables we are testing, which one is the independent variable, which one is a dependent variable, and which how we will analyze these results and so on. Okay, so which one is the most likely explain this issue? Sample size, small sample size, maybe, most probably. Small within group variance, I don't think so. 85% statistical power, I don't think so also, and or controlled alpha level. But let us explain and see. So the correct answer is a small sample size. Okay. When we do any study, we recruit certain number of participants for this study, and we do something called the power or G power for the study in order trying to estimate the number required to be recruited for a certain study. So statistical significance depends on several key factors. Number one, sample size. Number two, effect size. Three, variability or variance. Four, alpha level or type 1 error. Number five, statistical power. Okay, so why sample size is a correct answer among these four choices? Because a small sample size is one of the most problems we encounter in research, and this most probably will lead to non-significant results. Okay, there is a true effect, there is a trend for improvement, but still, because we have recruited small sample size, 10 participants, 12 participants, is not showing a significant difference because there is a small sample size recruited. Sometimes it is an error in the design of the study, and sometimes we cannot find enough participants. Like we are recruiting a very specific characteristics for the sub participants of the study, or there is some ethical and issues in recruitment or difficulties in recruitment. So we end up by getting small sample size. Okay, so if we have a small sample size, this will reduce the statistical power, and increase the risk of type 2 error, which is a false negative error. Okay. So it will be difficult to detect a real difference. There is a real difference, there is which exists, but we cannot see that because of the small sample size. So it might be that the treatment works or the intervention is working already, okay, but the study itself, is did not give us this conclusion because the design of the study was not correct. Let's look at the incorrect choices. Small within group variance. Okay. What does this mean? When we recruit group A and group B, for example, and the subjects for group A, there is a slight variation between them. Actually, this is good. This is not bad. This means that this group is homogeneous. Okay, and the subjects are similar to each other, which is a good thing. So when we have a small within group variance, actually this is a good thing. This will improve the ability to detect difference and make statistical significance more likely, not less likely. Okay. Choice C, 85% is statistical power. This is actually adequate or high power. 80% and above is usually acceptable. If we have an 85% statistical power would reduce, not increase, the chance of missing a significance. Number D, control the alpha level. A standard alpha level usually which we set for our studies is 0.05, which is appropriate. It is not something or a methodological flaw causing insignificance. So again, what is the answer? A small sample size is usually linked to errors in statistical conclusions because we might not have enough participants to allow the application of treatment or intervention to be shown, and other answers again like the within group small group or within group variance actually will lead to less or overlapping of sample distribution, and again if we have greater than 80%, which is 85 statistical power, there is a higher probability that the study conclusion are accurate. So there is no problem with that. Actually, 85% is okay. And an inflated alpha level, which is non-controlled, result in a higher level of statistical significance and greater probability of type 1 error. So this is, a tip to take from the answer of this question. When we see favorable results, but not statistically significant, we might expect this is a low power or small sample size or type 2 error. Okay, this was the answer for today's question. If you would like to join my PT license exam preparation course, please send me a message on WhatsApp 00144224872006 or 00201027743702. If you would like to join the post-professional or transitional DBT program at University of Montana in the US, which is an online program at a discounted rate, please also drop me a message and I will send you the details of the paperwork required and how to apply and be selected. Thank you for watching my videos and following my content. Please kindly share the content and my YouTube channel with your colleagues, either students or graduates, will be much appreciated. Thank you and see you soon in a new content.